Well, welcome into the inaugural Da Liucci Awards here 2026. I'm your host, David Nuno, with the co-owner and executive editor of TexAgs, Billy Liucci. Billy, today we celebrate greatness. 12 awards voted on by the entire TexAgs staff, not the entire staff, but a bunch of us. And today is really more of a celebration of the 2026 and 2025 calendar year.
I know at SEC Network, David Da Liucci has the Liucci Awards. Right. So is that why y'all picked Da Liucci?
Yeah.
Are we doing?
Well,
because his should be Da Liucci.
And ours should be.
Mine should be, yeah.
Yeah, so we stole his name back.
Stole mine, I stole it back. Anywho, ready to do this. Exciting. As we sit here, I was just informed of all the winners. So this is kind of impromptu, and I like it.
Well, I haven't even read them yet, so that's interesting. Let's go right now to the very first award. Here are the nominees for Newcomer of the Year.
A freshman from Pearland High School, Nico Partita, earned Freshman All-America honors after hitting .306 with 12 home runs and 43 RBIs in 49 games. A consensus All-American and the recipient of the Paul Hordig Award, Tacey Concepcion transferred to A&M from NC State and hauled in 61 passes for 919 yards and accumulated 12 total touchdowns in 2025. The heart and soul of Bucky McMillan's first team in Aggie Wind, Rashawn Agee averaged 14.6 points and 8.7 rebounds en route to third-team All-SEC honors. Her story is amazing and her athleticism is freaky. Kendall Stowers is a first-team All-SEC selection, an All-American, and the NCAA tournament's most outstanding player. Coming to College Station from Sacred Heart, the 5'3" Ny'Ceara Pryor became Joni Taylor's Energizer buddy, leaving the Aggies with a 16.3 scoring average.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. And the winner is Newcomer of the Year, Kendall Stowers, our intern, our friend, Billy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And she's been great here in studio. We've all enjoyed her. And you get to know the personality and understand a little bit of part of what she brought to the table. But so much, let's not forget what she did on the court. I had a conversation with a couple of high-profile volleyball players during the off-season prior that were talking about A&M. And Logan Lednicki coming back, and they said, oh, watch out for Stowers too. And ironically enough, Kendall, Logan, and the Aggies beat both of them en route to that national title. So she was just a phenomenal performance anyway. And then you combine it with the comeback, and I know she's up at the ESPYs for Comeback Athlete of the Year. Pretty remarkable when you add that all together. But she was so clutch and so fun to watch during that postseason run, that from like that Sweet 16 all the way through, just to see she just wasn't going to let them lose. And the whole team was like that, but you watched her compete, and it's one of those moments in time as an Aggie that you remember that it didn't matter who they were playing against. It didn't matter that Nebraska had made a run and come back. It was one of those times where you just knew. I'd equate it to the only other times I really would feel like that are like the 24 A&M baseball team, AC Law, and then Johnny Manziel. And Stowers and that team had that.
This is just truly an honor. I had no idea that this would even be happening, but I think it's a great warm-up for a speech before I have to go to New York for the ESPYs. I don't know if these votes were rigged at all. I do intern here, so I think they may have been a little biased. They might like me a little bit more than some of the other people that aren't in here as much. But yeah, anyways, TexAgs, thanks.
All right, let's go to the nominees for our next award, Professional Athlete of the Year.
On June 9th, the 23-year-old Braden Montgomery became just the 5th player in baseball history to hit a walk-off home run in his big league debut. His story is just beginning on the south side of Chicago. The Bald Mamba. After winning the 2025 NBA title, Alex Caruso helped OKC to a 64-18 regular season record with his do-it-all impact. Maybe Bronny should be reading this nomination, as the mercurial Devon Achane was named a Pro Bowler for the first time in 2025 after leading the NFL with a 5.7 yards per carry average. Perhaps the best defender the NFL has ever seen, Myles Garrett captured his second Defensive Player of the Year award after posting an NFL record 23 sacks. An all-star for the second time, the 35-year-old Michael Waka is enjoying a resurgent season in Kansas City, owning a 3.77 ERA in a league-leading 119 innings pitched for the Royals.
All right, let's now get to the award. Billy, you want to pull this one out?
Sure. This is the Pro Athlete of the Year, Professional Athlete of the Year, and it is kind of a no-brainer there. That is Myles Garrett, formerly of the Cleveland Browns, now of the LA Rams.
Any thoughts about his domination this year?
I mean, what, 23 sacks, broke Strahan's record. He feel like he could do it again, and he could have done it last year. And he's going to go down, I think, ultimately as one of the 3 best pass rushers of all time, alongside Reggie White and Bruce Smith. I think Myles Garrett's going to be mentioned in there, and you and I grew up in that era, so we know what that means. He was great from the moment he stepped foot onto the field at Texas A&M, and he's just gotten better and better and better. He's such a better pro than he was in college, which is hard to do when you were as good as he was at A&M. But he's one of those rare guys that was just a can't miss from the moment he was signed in high school on through. A guy I would compare him to that I felt the same way about was like Adrian Peterson. Just a very rare short list of players that in like 9th, 10th grade, they're an NFL Hall of Famer. And that's what Myles will be. He's already there if he decided to stop playing today, in my opinion, but he's just been incredible. And he's the best defensive player in the NFL and arguably the best football player in the NFL. And he's joining a team with the reigning NFL MVP, now has a chance to win a Super Bowl to go along with it. So I'm really happy that he was able to, I have a soft spot for Cleveland and the Browns, so I don't just mean it this way, but get out of Cleveland in terms of giving himself a chance to be on a winner.
All right, let's go now to the nominees for the soundbite of the year.
Would you be more inclined to just go out of bounds now if you're
Nah.
now?
Nah. I'm a man.
Try to save yourself or anything?
I'm a man. Running out of bounds just like running from a fight.
Howdy Ags, coming home from the plains of Auburn with a big win back to College Station. We play Oklahoma 2:30 on Saturday. We got to have you there. We got to pack Reed. 2:30. Don't be a millisecond late. If you're a millisecond late, you know it don't count.
I wouldn't have said this in the first 2 years that I was here, but we have a chance of winning a national championship, but we have to go about it the right way over the next 7 months, and I get chills as I'm saying that.
All right, and the winner of the soundbite of the year, Bucky McMillan. If you're a millisecond late, you know it don't count.
Yeah, you know why I like that soundbite too? It was the timeliness of it.
He's from the area.
Delivered on the plane, or was it the airport or was it on the actual plane there?
I think it was on the plane, and it was leaving Auburn.
Leaving Auburn after that. They got the right call, but controversial ending or contested ending there. That was actually, in hindsight, a really turning point moment, I think, for their whole season. And just, why it was so good? It was just classic Bucky delivery, and I think people don't realize how funny that dude is, and so just it gave everybody kind of a little insight into that he's pretty hilarious. And I think as time goes on, everybody covers him, starts to realize that, and the fans as well. But that was one of the first looks into that behind the curtain there. And also, I like when it's the head coach saying that versus some sport admin doing it over Twitter. So it was good.
In case you don't see it on the bottom of the Sports Center ticker, honored to receive this Billy Liucci TexAgs Soundbite of the Year award. Millisecond late, you know it don't count. If you get an award by Billy Liucci, you know it does count. Giggle.
All right, let's now go to the nominees for the Post of the Year.
Halftime versus South Carolina, down 30-3. Hope dwindling, but not for SLC Ag. One word, over 800 Blue Stars, believe. He even called the final score 31-30 perfectly. It leaves us with the following question. Is SLC Ag from the future? Somebody else might have written it, but we thank Boxing Ad 84 for bringing Reuben Owens Sr.'s very important words to the board. Celebrating the leadership and culture set by Mike Elko, we agree that Texas A&M is the place to be. Some athletes use NIL for greatness, and anti-safety Marcus Ratcliffe is one of those through his Mission 312. In his first TexAgs post, Ratcliffe thanked the 12th man for their support as he raised $6,240 for Walk Among Heroes to send World War II veterans back to Normandy. Plenty of stories are worth the read, including this one from TT Aggie about his 11-year-old son Andrew, who found inspiration and even a friendship with fellow stutterer KC Concepcion before kickoff of the Mississippi State game. Andrew and KC remind us that even 2-minute conversations can create important core memories that carry importance well beyond sports. Old Buffalo holds grudges, and it's really, really funny. In a thread celebrating Maryland basketball's loss on January 21st to Illinois, our second favorite OB explained why he's not giving Buzz a pass, or the women that dumped him back in high school.
All right, Billy, the winner for the TexAgs Post of the Year, Marcus Ratcliffe, the first post to promote Mission 312.
Love the Mission 312 from Marcus Ratcliffe. My favorite, I've said it before, it's my favorite thing that I've seen thus far with an A&M athlete or maybe in the country, like doing something with his NIL in the way of charity. And he chose that. I asked him that during our recent captain's lunch, and he's talked about it before, but he chose that. So many of his family in the military through generations, and to do what he's doing for veterans of World War II veterans. And you read about stuff. My grandpa was, on the beach, stormed the beach at Normandy, and all of those, that era, the true heroes, and then there's not that many left, and they get chances to go back and go visit the site. It's pretty incredible what he's doing, and it's more incredible for someone that age to be thinking along those lines, and also just to have that charitable of a heart, but also to be doing that while serving as a captain of an SEC football team and all that goes along with that. It's just really easy to overlook that and just go about your day, and he's really committed and all in on it.
Over 1,000 blue stars there on TexAgs.com on the premium boards. All right, next up, the social media post of the year. Here are the nominees.
There's always going to be a burning desire to beat the hell out of TU, and nothing signifies that better than the Student Bonfire Stack Ablaze. Each week in the fall, TexAgs runs BTHO graphics, but this one is definitely fire. Write that, swept that. Some edits hit harder than others.
I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again, and that hasn't changed in my mind. I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I could possibly give it. Write that.
Take his kid without no gun, this ain't checkers, bit this chest. Grab my mask, load my gun, jump in my strike, you know the rest. Keep on dumping, rapid fast, switch up on this bitch. I'm coming VS1, and my bust, don't need no camera tricks. Spinning in a hot car with some savages who will take it. Rookie ass little boy thought it was clean, it's like I served him heat. Remember I was down bad with down rich. Might walk into the Louis store and drop a cool 10 on the feet. She turning me like teeth, you got your gun. Why you ask? Yeah, we pull on his, put up 40 or better with my brand new crazy.
Look, it's Marcel Reed and a fan. Having Lionel Messi come to Aggieland is as surreal as it gets, as the GOAT was at Kyle Field on June 6, and one number 10 met another after Argentina's 2-0 victory over Honduras. Walk in yo trap, take over yo trap. The 12th man traveled to South Bend, stared down touchdown Jesus, and left Notre Dame with an unforgettable victory. We'll remember 41-40 for a long, long time. When confetti rains, so do the likes. Nearly 20,000 double-tapped the graphic, celebrating Texas A&M Volleyball's national championship on December 21st, as Jamie Morrison and the Aggies brought a golden moment back to College Station.
All right, now the winner for the social media post of the year, Andrew Wu, making his reel after the Texas baseball series. And what a weekend we remember. And the video was fantastic.
Yeah, video was incredible. That was probably one of the, I would put that up there with the Notre Dame and LSU weekends as far as like most fun of the year in Aggie sports. You know, just most memorable and just feel good. That would be in my top 3. And volleyball, of course. Those are kind of the ones that, but volleyball, you had lost to Miami the day before. If I was ranking the top 3, I would go Notre Dame, Aggie baseball, and the sweep of Texas. There was just something magical about that weekend, and LSU, and that video was awesome. I know the first time they showed it to me, I was like, okay, that's
And the timing of the video, too.
Yeah.
I think this university needed
yeah,
that.
they wanted it. They needed those wins. They needed that sweep, and they wanted to kind of have something to watch and relive it through. And Wu created a great one.
First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I'd also like to thank everybody who made this possible. This award isn't just mine. It belongs to everyone who has been a part of the journey. I'd like to thank my parents for raising me, my teachers and believe in me, and my coaches for teaching me discipline, and my elementary school driver for making sure I got home safe every day. To every Chick-fil-A employee who has ever told me my pleasure, thank you. I'd like to thank every green light that I've caught on my way to work and every alarm that has woke me up on time. I'd like to thank my coworkers for answering my questions that I could have figured out on my own. I'd like to thank everyone who's replied, looks good to me. There are so many people I'd like to thank, and I know I'm forgetting someone. And for that, I sincerely apologize. If I didn't mention your name, just know you played a huge role in this moment. Thank you. God bless, and I will treasure this honor forever.
Wow, social media post of the year. Thank you all so much for voting. Texas Baseball Series recap reel. I'm going to frame this in my house, even though I did not create the reel. I just promoted it on social media. So thanks again. We're honored, and we're looking to break the numbers that this one did with the Texas football recap reel this year.
All right, let's do now the nominees for the story of the year.
This year's coaching carousel had it all, except for some groomers. Mushroom clouds in Oxford and Ann Arbor, the Penn State debacle, even crumble cookies saving BYU. Everyone's favorite, Stuart Wade, tracked all the drama with one of the messier maps in recent memory. Just before kickoff versus South Carolina on November 15th, Ross Dellinger broke the news that Mike Elko is getting an extension, with the source himself, Billy Liucci, reporting the new deal added an additional 6 years with an average annual salary of $11.5 million. Nobody does sign day quite like TexAgs, and to welcome Texas A&M's 27 signees in the class of 26, we produced 14 pieces of content with over 5 hours of video and audio as the Oko era picked up more and more steam. So just wait for December of 26 as the top-ranked 2027 class puts pen to paper. Leading into the 2025 volleyball season, Janie Morrison added Baylor transfer Kendall Stowers. In a profile written by a TexAgs intern, the 12th man learned more about Stowers' medical retirement and career revival before the outside hitter introduced herself as one of college volleyball's truly elite players. On April 13, 2026, the Texas A&M University System Board of Regents named Dr. Susan Balabina as the sole finalist to become the 28th full-time president of Texas A&M University, and TexAgs was first to publish the news.
All right, Billy, the winner for the story of the year. It's Stu's college football coaching carousel. All the coaches' faces and names as things started to play out, and it started very early this year.
Yeah, it did. That's always going to be well trafficked. And then when you put the Stu Wade touch of genius onto it, comedic, or just he knows how to make it interactive where you keep wanting to go back and check on it and see it. And there's a reason we hired him. There was a reason we brought him back. And there you go, Stu Wade, brilliance as always.
This was unexpected. Just an incredible honor. I have prepared some remarks just in case I won. To my fellow nominees, you're all so talented, and I think if you keep pressing, you might be up here someday following in my footsteps. But first, I want to thank my family for their continued support of what I do. Brandon, Josh, Billy, Hunter, for always believing in me, giving me a second chance. But I want to thank James Franklin for putting this all in motion, Penn State for keeping it going. You are the engine, the heartbeat of this entire project. Billy Napier, you will always have a place on our carousel. Kansas State for putting A&M on the map. Sam Pittman, Hugh Freeze, Trent Dilfer, Mike Gundy, former A&M head coach Mark Stoops, and Crumble Cookies. Of course, I wouldn't be here without the great work of Brian Kelly and Lane Kiffin and Our Lady of the Lake Hospital. Lastly, I just want to thank college football. Just keep going. You are doing everything right. Look, I don't do this for the awards, but it's nice to be recognized. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, this next one, I'm going to explain a little bit. It's your mom's favorite player, and legitimately, TexAgs staff reached out to their parents. Some of them are Aggies. Some of them are old Cuban ladies who don't know anything about Aggie sports other than what I tell them. And they all voted on their favorite player. So here are the nominees for your mom's favorite player.
Nick's mom, Kim, said his work ethic, clutch performances, and team-first attitude make him exciting to watch, and he plays the game with confidence and heart. Reese Nygren's mom, Tracy, said the way he handled and talked about his stutter, it was really cool to see someone like him talk so positively and not treat it like a setback. Callie's mom, Lisa, said TK has a contagious energy, and he is so supportive of his teammates. He is not self-centered and always wants to do what is best for his team. A true leader. Matthew Dawson's mom, Susan, said the significance of the number 12. You know he earned it. Kay Magley's mom, Lori, said, I enjoyed watching her play. She made the game exciting and showed great leadership and dedication on and off the court.
And the winner for your mom's favorite player, I think this was a no-brainer, Casey Concepcion.
Yeah, no, I think he's a lot of people's favorite. Yeah. He's everybody outside of A&M that didn't know much about him or even the Aggies, and Casey Concepcion has really, he won over the hearts and minds of a lot of people, but Aggies from day one have absolutely loved him. I know he's my mom's favorite, or he's one of the couple. She picks favorites every year, but he walked in, I think him and AG were her two favorites this year. He walked in here and did an interview with me that one day, and they, you know, I thought we had a great interview because of him, and then so she didn't vote on that, but you can include Dolores in that as well. She's in there. Dolo's big Casey Concepcion fan as well.
All right, so our next award are not nominees. It's all Texas A&M team. So check out this group of outstanding young athletes. All right, congratulations to all those athletes. Let's move on now to the moment of the year. Here are the nominees.
Texas A&M's Elite Eight match versus top-seeded Nebraska was an absolute classic, and the fourth set finished 37-35. The drama was simply great, and as we know, something great was about to happen. Trailing 40-34 with 19 seconds left, A&M had one final gasp in front of touchdown Jesus, and on 4th and goal from Notre Dame's 11-yard line, Marcel Reed scanned, pumped a fake, and lofted a prayer, which Nate Burkacher answered the seal of 41-40 triumph in South Bend. The comeback likely doesn't happen without one of the best catches in Aggie history. Down 30-10 with less than 5 minutes left in the third, Marcel Reed looked deep, fired a missile down the middle, and found the speedy Ashton Bethel Roman on a full extension dive in the end zone. On December 21st, 2025, for the first time ever, the Aggies summited the college volleyball mountaintop. On the third championship point, the fit of Cos-Okpalla's legendary right arm delivered the final blow, completing the sweep of Kentucky and Kansas City and turning legends into immortals. G. Guerreri's Aggies entered the October 2nd Lone Star Showdown seeking an end to a 5-game skid. Locked in a scoreless deadlock in the 68th minute, Trinity Buchanan etched her name to the rivalry's history with a one-time right-footed flick that lifted the Aggies to a 1-0 win at Ellis Field.
All right, Billy, I'm excited about this one. I know where I voted. The moment of the year is
Nate Burkacher.
The catch versus Notre Dame. Wow, out of scene.
There it was.
A little stronger than I expected.
That one was heavier. That was, no, what a play, what a moment. Marcel Reed and Nate Burkacher, 4th and, was it 4th and 13? Or was it 4th and 11, 4th and 13?
4th and long.
One of the all-time plays in Texas A&M history. I don't know how it'll ever
You were in
be.
the end zone, right, for that one?
Yeah, but I was in the opposite, so I took a horrible
by
video.
you.
Yeah, we were. So, but I had a great view of it. You could see it.
See,
when
I
sitting kind of straight across. And
my view of it was, I think he caught that, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, you had to see him come out of the pile and everybody celebrating before you fully were like, okay, because there were a lot of Aggies down there, so the cheers sounded different. You couldn't tell, but it was just an incredible play, an incredible game, incredible weekend. An incredible season. It set the tone for the entire season, set the tone for Marcel, set the tone for Nate, set the tone for this team doing some really nice things on the road. So hopefully set the tone for the future.
Yep.
And we'll look back on that play as, I think, maybe not only a turning point if they ever end up winning a championship under Elko, but also just as far as moments in Aggie football, that's going to be etched in there forever.
All right, next, maybe we'll get a repeat, maybe not. The nominees for the game of the year.
A Week 3 clash at Notre Dame Stadium featured 81 total points and 917 combined yards as Mike Elko led the Aggies to their first road win over a ranked opponent since 2014. The 41-40 triumph catapulted A&M into the nation's top 10, where they remained for the rest of the year. Nearly 22 months had passed, but the 12th man still had plenty of anger for number 22, and the Raggies let him hear it. Still, the loudest statement was made by Michael Early's ball club as the Aggies took a rain-shortened 2-game sweep of their bitter rivals. The rallying cry of "Why not us" was born in Lincoln on December 12th. Down 2-0, A&M was 2 points from elimination, but the Aggies charged back from the brink and ultimately charged their way to Kansas City. A series opener that took 2 days to complete, literally. When the College Station Reigns forced play to be suspended on Thursday night, the Sooners led 5-3, but when the teams returned the next afternoon, Trisha Ford's Fightin' Texas Aggies rattled off 5 unanswered to earn the program's first home win versus a top-ranked opponent in over a decade. A&M's Luciana Perez stared down Anastasia Lopata on Court 1 in Athens. The final battle in an absolute war went to the Aggies as they knocked off top-seeded UGA on their home courts to put them on the precipice of what became their second title in 3 seasons.
All right, Billy, the winner for the game of the year. What is boxing when they do CompuStats? This is a nail-biter.
CompuBox, yeah.
CompuBox, thank you very much. The winner of game of the year, the baseball series versus the University of Texas.
I mean, the series, we picked the whole series, or did we pick
I
a
don't know,
game?
actually. I just said that.
Usually a game, but
A game and a series.
The
series is a moment.
Incredible. Like, you know, it was 10 out of 10 Aggie sports. You're playing the Longhorns. They're ranked number 2. You got swept a year ago. There's the whole Slosh leaving for Austin thing. There's this team, this A&M team was surging at the time. You could almost, it was one of those times where you could feel it coming. Kind of like the upset of Bama back in 21 in football. Like, there was something about that weekend or that day. Like, you could feel it coming, and they lived up to it. And you had a close one, nail biter there on Friday night, and then a total ass kicking Saturday. Was it 8-run first? And then you had the Sunday, kind of, even though you didn't play, it added to the lore of the weekend with the whole rain delay all day thing, and then finally canceling things at about 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. So pretty incredible, unforgettable weekend there. I'm imagining that nudged out barely Notre Dame, the win in South Bend. Both of those were like as good as it gets, not just as an Aggie, but as a college sports fan. That's your team.
All right, next up, the Coach of the Year. Here are the nominees.
With his exciting brain to basketball, Bucky McNohan took a teen pick to finish 13th in the SEC to the second round of the NCAA tournament, all while threatening to break scoreboards and scoring records night in and night out. The AVCA's Coach of the Year, Jeannie Morrison, delivered on his called shot as he led Texas A&M volleyball to its first national title. 25-26 was supposed to be a down year for women's tennis, but all Mark Weaver and the Aggies did was catch fire, turn the naysayers to ashes, and win the program's second title in 3 years.
I don't think there's any greater honor in the world to be given an award named after Billy. But no, in seriousness, one, I just want a full cutout of him. I'm going to hold right here, just like an Oscar as I'm in here. But thank you for this, and it is an honor. And I know I said that facetiously at the beginning, but I think we have some really amazing head coaches here on campus and coaches in general. And to be given this award amongst them means the world to me. So thank you to TexAgs. And I wouldn't be, I don't know where I am without my staff and my players. So this goes out to them as well. But thank you guys for this honor. It really does mean a lot, especially here in a place where I think coaching is done at a really excellent high level. So thank you very much for the inaugural Liucci. I appreciate it.
All right, how about that, Billy? Coach Morrison joining us here on this awesome award show. He was amazing, called his shot, and they did it.
He called his shot when he got here. Stacy Sikora told me the day he was hired he's going to win a national championship. So he was the best coach he's ever had. Thought he was going to do amazing here. When I sat down with him for lunch, like, I don't know, first week or so he was on the job, very early. This was his vision, was to win one, to build a national power, which it looks like very much like he's doing now on the heels, and to make this thing last. But to do it in year 3, the path they took, you know, they were on the ropes there. Was it Louisville early on?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
On the ropes. And then to go through Nebraska, Nebraska, you know, it was allegedly, you know, maybe the best team ever that everyone thought was going to roll to the title. They can go through Pitt and all their recent Final Four berths and National Player of the Year, and then to go and do it against a previous champ in Kentucky and do it in such really impressive fashion was incredible. Even I know Jamie dreams big, but I think before the season, if you had said, "Hey, you're going to win a national title, and here's how you're going to do it," he'd be like, "Man, that's kind of." I dream big, but that seems like a lot. But they did it, and it's pretty incredible. That's a no-brainer this year.
All right, next award up is the Team of the Year. Here are the nominees.
Year 2 of the Elko era embodied grind, a nail-biter in South Bend, a Louisiana Saturday night smackdown, and an improbable comeback were all monumental moments along Texas A&M's 11-0 start that earned the Aggies their first college football playoff berth. Jamie Morrison's Aggies turned his prophecy into reality. At 29-4 overall, the 2025 national champions reached heights never before seen in Aggieland, leaving fans asking, why not us? Adversity and uncertainty were overcome by grit and determination as Mark Weaver's 25-26 team was a masterpiece of maroon and white, winning the program's second national title in 3 seasons.
All right, Billy, the winner of Team of the Year, the A&M volleyball team. What a day for them on this award show.
Hey, and Stalwart Kendall, she had no input into the voting, I don't believe. I don't think she tinkered with the votes at all, so this is all legit. And it should be, because jokes aside, this was an all-time Texas A&M team. And you know, the fact we're talking about them this much in a year where A&M football went 11-1, went to the playoffs, finished 11-2 on the season, had that monster win at Notre Dame, like all the things football did, and volleyball being celebrated as much as it is, that they were, again, like I said, an all-time Texas A&M team. We just talked about, like, it wasn't just that they won it. It was the unexpectedness of it. It was the path they had to go through. Murderer's Row, an absolute gauntlet to get there, and the way they did it, and the timing of it, and just, it was special. It was unforgettable. So could not give that team or those players or that coach enough awards. So here's just a couple more.
Well, that's going to do it for the inaugural Da Liucci Awards. Billy, thanks for coming in. This was fun exercise, and thank you to everybody participating and checking it out. We'll do it again here next year, and until then, football season's right upon us.